Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'm Randy, and this is a contest entry, and it's a contest entry for Steve at All the World's a Stage, everyone's friend in the VC, king of the VCLT. I did receive this Kinks album from Steve as VCLT, and great album. And he also, big on t-shirts. I don't have a lot of rock t-shirts. I like to travel. So most of my t-shirts and sweatshirts are places I have been. So he likes to show his t-shirts off. This is Taliesin, which is in Wisconsin, was a state of Frank Lloyd Wright. But anyway, he has a contest where he's celebrating 250 subscribers, although he's almost at 300. Let's get him to 300 for sure. And this is his second go-around in the vinyl community. As you know, he had quit his earlier channel and started this new one up. And if you go and watch his first video, he can explain all that to you. But anyway, he wanted us to show and talk about the first concert that we ever attended. Now, I wasn't really much of a concert goer when I was younger. I was going to movies all the time, and I'm still kind of a film buff, although I don't watch a lot of the newer movies. I'm kind of the older vintage movies. But I did go when I was younger all the time, but I never really did go to concerts. And so, except, in school you went to go see the Kansas City Philharmonic. I did that, but I'm not really going to count that. So my first concert that I paid for and I went to, and the first group I did go see is this group called the Michael Stanley Band. This is before the internet, and you couldn't go listen to Spotify to see if you liked it beforehand. So I have no idea why I really bought this album. But anyway, well, I did buy this album, and it's a live album. Michael Stanley Band's from Cleveland, Ohio area. This is their album Stage Pass, and I bought this, and I saw it came out in 1977. And this is actually the first concert I went to, was to go see the Michael Stanley Band. After hearing this live album, I really wanted to go see them. But I looked at my concert ticket, which I did find. There's the concert ticket at the Uptown Theater, Michael Stanley Band. And it said it must be 21, so it must have been around 79 when I went to see the Michael Stanley Band. And I did end up getting some of their other albums, but I still like these live versions, and I guess that's because they were the ones I first got used to. So, but I did go get some of their other albums. I got Cabin Fever, Michael Stanley Band. Greatest Hits, the Michael Stanley Band. If you didn't know them, you could get confused and think that was the Greatest Hits, but it's the Greatest Hints by the Michael Stanley Band. Lady's Choice, which is good, Michael Stanley Band song. And You Break It, You Bought It by the Michael Stanley Band. There's the guys. There's Michael Stanley right there. And I also bought later, which, I don't know, it was 1980 sometime, I think. I bought this single for the song He Can't Love You, which is, I think, their first top 40 hit, actually. And pretty poppy, and not really what I was expecting from the Michael Stanley Band, although it is a pretty catchy song. But so I took a friend of mine, and we went to a place called the Uptown Theater, which is still around, although in the 90s it fell into disrepair, and finally someone bought it and they renovated it, and it's still going down strong today, which is a great place to see concerts. It sounds great in there. And this says main floor, table 120, even though it says row 12, seat 2. But we were at a table. It had tables around in the front, down on the main part, and then they had kind of a theater seating back behind there. And I remember we were at one of the tables, which was pretty cool to sit pretty close up to the Michael Stanley Band. And they did play a couple of my favorite songs off here, Midwest Midnight and Let's Get the Show on the Road, which if you wanted to listen to a Michael Stanley Band, I would suggest those, but listen to the live versions because I think they're the best. But anyway, that's my entry. My first concert was the Michael Stanley Band out of Cleveland, Ohio. And he did have a solo career after this, but I don't really have any. I think I do have one CD of when he was solo, and he passed away a few years ago, unfortunately. But anyway, that's my first concert. Everyone subscribe to Steve at All the World's a Stage, and I hope everyone is doing well. Thanks.